Cowboys Nation, what's going on? It's Alex back again, and before we jump into today's huge update, I have to ask you something real quick. I know most of you watch my videos every single week, but still haven't subscribed, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. It takes just 1 second, and it makes a massive difference because I promise you do not want to miss the daily Cowboys news that I bring here every single day. Now let's get right into it. Today we are talking about something that should put a smile on the face of every Cowboys fan, because we finally got some encouraging news about cornerback Darren Bland, and it came straight from the man himself, Jerry Jones. Now I know over the past few weeks a lot of us have been holding our breath wondering what is going to happen with Bland after that injury scare. The secondary has already been a big question mark this season, and losing someone like Bland would have been a huge blow, but now Jerry is stepping up with some positive words, and it is giving Cowboys Nation a much-needed boost of hope. Think about this for a second. Darren Bland is not just another player in the rotation. This guy has been one of the most reliable pieces in our defense. He has a knack for being in the right place at the right time, and we all know what he did last year with those record-setting pick sixes that completely changed the outcome of games. The Cowboys defense thrives when Bland is on the field, and his absence was one of the biggest fears fans had going into this season, so to hear Jerry say that things are looking better than expected is a massive sigh of relief. Now let me break down exactly what Jerry said and why it matters so much. Jerry Jones was asked about Bland's progress, and instead of dodging the question or being vague, he came out and gave us some optimism. He talked about Bland's recovery process, the work the medical staff has been doing, and how the Cowboys are very encouraged by what they are seeing right now. In other words, Jerry is not just trying to sugarcoat things. He knows how important this guy is to the defense, and the fact that he chose to deliver positive news is a sign that Bland's injury might not be as serious as many feared. And here is the thing. When Jerry talks about a player, he does not just do it casually. He understands that Cowboys fans hang on to every word he says, so when he made it clear that Bland's outlook is improving, that was his way of calming the storm. This is not just about Bland being able to suit up in the near future. It is about what his presence means for the entire defense, because let's be real, the Cowboys secondary has been tested early and often this year. Losing Trayvon Diggs before was already tough, and having Bland go down would have made things even more complicated. But now with Bland on track to return, or at least contribute sooner rather than later, this defense suddenly feels a lot more dangerous. Now imagine this scenario. You have got Micah Parsons rushing the passer DeMarcus Lawrence, causing chaos up front, and then in the secondary you have a ballhawk like Darren Bland waiting to capitalize on any mistake the quarterback makes. That is the kind of recipe that wins games in the playoffs. We saw last season how turnovers completely shift momentum, and Bland is the type of player who can turn a regular defensive stop into a game-changing highlight in just one play. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still need to see how Bland progresses week by week. However, Cowboys fans, this is the exact kind of news you want to hear heading into a tough stretch of the schedule, because confidence and morale matter just as much as talent. And with Jerry giving us this update, it feels like the entire team just got a mental lift. I want to say this too. There is something special about the way Darren Bland plays the game. He is not the flashiest guy. He does not always do the loud celebrations, but his play speaks for itself. When you think about last year and how he stepped up after Diggs went down, nobody expected him to explode the way he did, and yet he turned into one of the brightest stars on the team. That is the kind of resilience and heart you cannot coach, and the fact that Jerry is confident in his recovery should make us all feel better. Now let's take a moment to think about what this means for Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, when he is designing schemes, knowing that Bland could be back in the fold sooner. It opens up so many options. Quinn loves to be aggressive with blitzes and coverage disguises, but you need trustworthy corners to pull that off, and Bland gives you exactly that. When quarterbacks test him, they often regret it because his instincts are so sharp. So imagine Quinn dialing up exotic looks again, with Bland lurking in the backfield ready to pounce on any mistake. That is when this Cowboys defense becomes not just good but elite. Here is another angle too, with Bland's injury update being encouraging. It also takes pressure off younger players who have been thrown into action. We have seen guys like Eric Scott Jr. and Nashan Wright step up, but let's be honest, they are not at Bland's level yet. Having him healthy means those guys do not have to shoulder the full load. It balances out the rotation and makes everyone's job easier. Cowboys Nation, I will tell you this: when you hear positive injury updates like this one, you should never take them for granted. Football is a brutal sport and injuries can derail even the most talented teams. So when Jerry Jones says Darren Bland's situation is looking better, we should all breathe a sigh of relief. This is the type of news that keeps playoff dreams alive. This is the type of update that can change the outlook of an entire season. And look, I know some people are going to say, well, Jerry sometimes paints things a little rosier than they are, and yes, that is true, but in this case it lines up with what we have seen. Bland has not been shut down long term. He has been working behind the scenes and the team has not rushed him back. That is smart management. You want him ready for the games that really matter, not just to throw him out there at 70%. So the fact that Jerry is hinting at progress tells me that the Cowboys are playing this one the right way. Now I want to hear from you guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Darren Bland's return will be the key to unlocking this defense's true potential, or do you think the Cowboys still need to make a move for another cornerback? I always love hearing your takes, and trust me, I read as many comments as I can because this channel is all about building the conversation with Cowboys Nation. Before we wrap this up, let me just say one last thing. Every season has its ups and downs, but the teams that make it deep into the playoffs are the ones that can weather the storms and stay strong through adversity. The Cowboys have had their fair share of challenges already this year, but the encouraging update on Darren Bland feels like one of those turning points when you start to feel that momentum swinging back in your direction, and as a fan, that is exactly what you want to feel heading into the heart of the season. So Cowboys Nation, if you are feeling hopeful after this update, make sure to smash that like button because it helps push this video out to more fans. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? We have got daily Cowboys updates, breaking news, and all the latest on your favorite team right here on this channel, and you do not want to miss any of it. Trust me, this season is going to be wild, and I will be here every single day bringing you the updates you need. That is all for today's video. I am Alex. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow with another big Cowboys update. Until then, keep the faith, enjoy this encouraging news about Darren Bland, and as always, go Cowboys.